Okay, it's been a long time, but this is Parker 51 guy, and I'm back to do a real short video. Seems like it's been forever. I got a lot of stuff that I have in the works plan-wise for videos, um, mainly about pens that I've gotten in reviews because at this point, not a lot of different pens that I can do that I've been able to get different types of restorations other than the basics that I've done. What I'm dealing with here today is a problem that I've run into, rarely, but figure because I'm sure others have run into it. I would talk about it because I've thought, what what's the best way to do this, and what I'm referring to is if you have a pen with a loose section. Um, that sound is it clicking around in the barrel. This is a Schaefer oversized balance. It's a friction fit section, and there's a lot of ideas out there on what to do, and I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong, but in the spirit of doing something that is reversible and not harmful to the pen, I prefer to stick with the traditional methods that are out there, and to that end, that means using just a good friend shellac. And what you do is you're going to build up that step that the barrel slides on. Um, Basically, you don't want to mess with this barrel, putting anything on the inside of that, because it's just better to build up that there on the section. What you're looking at is getting the even coat of shellac around in the center of that. And what you're going to do is put an even coating around, and then I got my knockout block here. Just place the nib down in one of the holes that'll hold the section up, and step away. Leave it 8 hours. Let it cure. Let the denatured alcohol that's in that shellac evaporate, and then come back and day at a time. I'd say you got to be patient if you want to use the pen. If you don't want a loose section, you want a solid section, you're gonna have to deal with this. Now this one, I already did one coating on this, and I did it earlier in the day, and I've come back, and as you see, it's still loose. Tightens up right about there, and there it's tight. What I found is when I pulled this out, you can see some of the raised areas, and also you can see how it moves in there, kind of moves up and down more than side to side. So what that tells me is that it needs more shellac here and down here, rather than coat it all the way around. I'm planning on putting just a dot of shellac there, and kind of spreading it out on the top, and a dot on the bottom, spreading it out. Then we're going to put it back into the block, step away, give it another 8 hours, take it back, fit it into the barrel, see how snug it is, and then proceed from there. That being said, if you get to a point where it's a little too tight, what you want to do is get a little bit of, I'd say something like, 1000 grit, 800 grit sandpaper, and just cut yourself a strip and just smooth down the edge, because when you slide that in there, like I was showing, you can get an idea of where it's tight. There's where it started to tighten up right about midway, so it's looser down closer to the step at the end of the section. and you're just going to have to play around with it until you get to a point where it is snug but not tight or risking to crack the barrel, because that's the ultimate worst thing that could happen. Is if you build that up too much before checking it, you try to force it in there, and it's going to stress an old vintage barrel and crack it, and your pen is ruined without major repair help. And if it's a very old pen, scarce model, it'd be a shame. And in fact, you may not even be able to repair it, let alone replace it. I hope that helps some people out there. If you got some old lever fillers that have friction fit sections, there's just a few out there that have screw in, so it's not an issue. In that case, I saw people ask, well, what about using rosin-based thread sealant? Most of the opinions from people who have experience, and I respect their level of expertise, say on a friction fit, it's not going to do what you want it to, because it softens at too low a temperature. Actually, somewhere under 100 and between 90. So body heat being what it is, you're going to heat that section up through writing enough that it's going to loosen it. Shellacs, roughly 130 degrees, I would say, in that ballpark. So unless you're some kind of freak of nature, and if you're not, you better get to a doctor fast, or you probably are already going to see an undertaker. Your temperature is way too high or too low, I should say, to melt the shellac that you would use to build up that collar. Once again, hope that helps you, and I plan to get some more videos going here. I have some free time on my hands right now, and I don't know if I'll do anything on a restoration aspect. I think I'm going to do more of a pen review and new toys that I've gotten type video, and just talk about it, and maybe start dialogue in the comments section with what people think about the pens that I'm going to feature, and questions or whatever. So until I get a chance to get those up and on my channel, I hope this is helpful, and I appreciate my subscribers, and give me any comments. And until next time, this is Parker 51 Guy, and I'll see you.